let's do this. We are going to keep a quick look to all of these files that have been dumped starting today. And we're going to see what did we get. What did we get in this FOIA dump? Well, let's start with a little recap, and we're going to get a copy of the export contracts, which has previously been provided on email 32825. I guess it's 43 pages long, and a copy of a letter to Special Assistant District Attorney Hank Brennan, dated 32525. It's also 4 pages long. A copy of the CV for Hannah Knowles, and Ian Whiffin's PowerPoint. Cool, because that's a little different from his actual report. A copy of Ian Whiffin's revised report from May 2025. Yeah, that's different because the first two have different dates. A copy of Lieutenant Lank 2022 or 2002 reports. Oh, this has got to do with the Lopilato situation because that's what happened in 2002. Also, we're going to get MSP report number 113. I have no idea what that is, but we're going to see. And 113 and 114. And then investigative report 32125. We're also going to get a copy of MSPCL 22-02184 and the same report, but 22-06575. It looks like there's also going to be a civil docket. It's a different number from Karen Reed's case number. A copy of email from Hannah Knowles, another copy of another email from Hannah Knowles, even though they have the same dates. But it looks like one is NDAO 4673 and the other one is 4674 to 4715. Transcript from Garrett Wing and another transcript from Garrett Wing. That's the dog expert. I'm not sure if you remember. Copy of partial transcript from the 325-25 hearing, and a copy of expert payments, which was previously provided on a 325-25 emails with an stamp NDAO 4877-4881. So we're going to dive in. We're just going to give it a quick look. Is everybody looking? Let me see before I do. Yeah, let me do this different so you guys can see better. Yeah. There we go. Let me see. I lost the view that I have. Where's the view that I have? Wait. Okay. Wait. Here we go. And then the first one is, we're going to make it bigger. It's just asking me to bring it up. Okay, this is Aperture contract. That's a letter to Hank Brennan, a special prosecutor, 45 Sherwood Road, Canton, Mass. 02021. Dear Mr. Brennan, let's open this up. Oh, wow. David Yannetti framed me for murder in 1994. Excuse me? Wait. 1994 murder. Massachusetts. Let's see what she's talking about. And we're going to go back to the actual letter and read. He had a witness named Denise Hennigan. He had a witness named Denise Hennigan lie, stating that she went into the Dunkin' Donuts in Medford, SQ maybe, near, or what? Store 24 on Main Street after 11 p.m. and that me and the victim, Thomas Moran, is it Moran? Let's see. Thomas Moran said hello to her. However, the Medford detectives, Braxton and Montana, were watching my rental car pull in at 11:05, and we left at 11:20. They never seen her car because if they did, they would run her plate through the teletype like mine. All this years later, I figure out that the stole that the store is closed after 11 p.m. Well, wait a minute. So why did you leave at 11? Okay, wait. At 11 p.m. She was never there. The next day, I'm in the police station and she calls them and says she's seen me with Moran. They told her to come down now to the station and look at photos. They had her walk by me and then showed her photos. She never picked me out. Jesus, this is long. I am arrested 1 month later and await trial 1 year. I was in custody before trial. Yannetti writes my trial lawyer, Thomas Moran, a letter, and he says, Hannigan can now ID your client. Hannigan lived near the Trumfield Dunkin' Donuts. She was never asked where she was coming from. It's missing an H. From that night and why that donut shop med dead, never seen her car, and Yannetti knows she's lying. Okay, so wait. So I can't. Moran. So let's see. Yep, Thomas Moran, age 19, discovered in a Medford Park in April 28, 1994, with a gunshot wound to his face and 79 stab wounds on his body. On the day of the murder, Jeffrey Hardy, age was 20, was with Moran, Gerald Sullivan, Richard Allison, and who else? Oh my God. Okay, wait. So why would she feel comfortable writing this letter? I mean, okay. Also, my trial started on a Friday. After the jury seated, Yannetti tells the judge that juror number 13, Dr. Astor, is smirking to the defendant. The judge says they will look into it on Monday. Monday comes and goes. Then on Tuesday, Dr. Astor, the juror, tells the judge he found an article about me in the jury room. Attempt to escape. They didn't want Astor on the jury because he can tell that only one knife was used. I did not kill my friend. I did not participate as a principal or joint venture. I was present and guilty of after the fact. Okay, well, that's an admission. They never asked the juror where in the jury room did you find it? Who would save an article like that? And why didn't they do DNA or fingerprint? That is a crime to tamper with a jury. They just dismissed him. They also had another witness, Laura Oliver, lied to say I took her white stolen car. If she didn't lie for them, they were going to take her baby away. Oh my God. From her because she was an addict. Yannetti also had me handcuffed and leg irons on when I went into the grand jury room to testify, and I lied for Hardy and Sullivan. Yannetti told the grand jury in the restraints have nothing to do. Pay no mind. I was not a threat to anyone. I was held for larceny. Stephen Murphy was also held in custody, and the DAs gave him court clothes for the grand jury. Michael Guthrow went before me, and he was in custody, also didn't leave any restraints on. Yannetti had a cab driver, Michael Domenici. I've heard that name. Haven't I heard that name? Maybe it's a common name, Domenici. Say that I was freshly showered. My hair was wet and matted down and wearing a Hawaiian shirt and beige pants. When he drove me back to the bar, I just left. After I went to Steve Murphy's house, he stated I had only a shirt on with shorts. and didn't have any blood on me. The Met Police withheld a police report from Captain Hanlon about going to my mother's house and pulling a t-shirt and shorts off of the hamper. David Yannetti is corrupt, really. He never checked Chris Rogovic's story out or asked Rogovic to show him the route he took that night. Police see me at 11:20 leave Dunkin' Donuts. Women at park heard noise at 11:30. You can't do what Rogovic said we did in the 10-minute time frame. Okay, so how old was David Yannetti back in 1994? Anybody knows? Also, Yannetti got, hold please. Yannetti got Rogovic's cab driver to lie and say he picked up two women from Doreen D'Armond's house at 22 Richardson Street. I'm writing that down. In Somerville, 1138. Cap Waybill. They didn't want me to use the timeline. Why would two women call a cab to 22 Richardson Street for pickup? Doreen told me Hannigan and Yannetti had a relationship. Also, they hid Sullivan's phone records where it says he called Doreen at 11:34 to come in. Sullivan and Rogovic leave me and Hardy at the park and take off to Doreen's house. Rogovic said we planned the murder on South Border Road, heavily wooded area. If that was the case, Hardy and Sullivan could have called Morgan out of the car then and not drive all the way to Columbus Park. David Yannetti has framed me and done other things in my case that I could go on and on. I was never involved with the drug deal with Braxton and Montana's informant. Oh, now there's an informant involved. I never argued with Moran at something 11 that night. David Yannetti had many people lie, tamper with my jury, let witnesses lie to grand jury that he knows is lying. Why did he leave the DA's office? He's a corrupt lawyer and shouldn't be allowed to practice law. Sincerely. Wait, I need to know the sincerely who. Richard who? Oh my God. Wait, I gotta make this bigger. Richard Allison. Okay. So, wait. So we're gonna do this. We are going to, and I really don't want to bore you with this, but I can't just look at that and not get at least some sort of facts, right? So Richard Allison, what's the other one? Moran, murder. What else did I say? 1994. David Yannetti. And there was a Hannigan, right? And there was also a Montana. So we're going to put that in our thing and we're going to see what comes up. So there's a 1994, as I said, Thomas Moran murder in Somerville. Let me share this page first. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. I'm not sure that I can do this to wrap up that chapter. But see, if I do that, then I'm going to get out. I don't want to do that now. We'll go back to it at the end. So, oh shoot, I haven't. Hello, people. Hi, cool. Cook dinner. Well, hello. Oh my God, first time. Welcome, Blunt Patty. And D-Mart. How long? It's been too long. But yeah, we got a new Foia stuff. So we're going to see if we can, hold on. If we can go back to this and hold on. There's a lot of stuff embedded in this, and we're going to try to go one by one to see if what else is good. I found something that, what's his name? JFK showed up. Higgins is talking about him on a report. I'm going to see if I can bring it up next so we can. Where is it? Higgins. Affidavit, Higgins. Wait. Affidavit. And there's one from Lank too. So hold on one second. Okay, here we go. But you're not seeing what I'm seeing. What happened? Okay. Okay, wait. Stop screen. Go back to it. And then Windows. And then we're going to go to this, not 63. Let's see. Okay, you should be able to see it right about now. Can you see it? Yeah. So that's the first one. That's the next one. No, but it's not running with you guys. So let me do this. I know what I did when I closed the article that I was reading. Everything went kaput. Hold on. Share screen. And okay, so here we go. And you guys can hear me, I'm sure. Okay, so that was the letter, and I already started doing a little bit of digging on that. Normally what I do is I go through everything to see what I have and try to prioritize. This is going to be very interesting because that Ian Whiffin report is the presentation that he shared at trial, not the report that he submitted in trial. So we're going to be able to compare this one and this one, collapse them together, and look for either contradictions or dichotomies or some sort of something, right, that triggers that there's incongruences in it. I already found a bunch. Now, that is the report from the 2002 Lo Pilato fight with Michael Lank and Good and Chris Albert back in at the bar used to be called Centerfields, but it's the same waterfall. It's just that it had a different name back then. So I've seen that report. I'll go through it again just in case. This one is very interesting because it is a letter from, Captain Bruce O'Rourke, which is a unit commander for Norfolk County, right? Stoughton PD unit, looks like special PD unit. We'll double check on that. Lieutenant Brian Tully, and he's talking about Higgins. So Higgins is complaining that his pictures are being shown. You see him here? This is back in the, right there. You see him with the head down? This is when the Boston bombing happened. And we're going to see another report where Higgins actually complains to Tully. And we're going to read about this one too, because that one is pretty juicy. He complains to him. This is it. And he tells him, I'm going to open it up so you guys can see it, that JFK, James Massara, and Microdots are talking badly about him. So wait, let me see if you can see it before I go any further. Okay, wait. Jesus Christ. Yep, you guys can see it. So here we go. And I'm going to try to make it bigger. Hold on. And not 63. This is the page you're looking at. So, okay. Let's see if that works. So it says that it's a written statement, right? It's like an affidavit, but they do it on the forms, on the police forms, and from Brian Higgins. And he's stating that on 3/25/2020, what is it? 25, he met with Brian Tully at the DIS Office Division Command, Massachusetts State Police. and that the subject name is, that's Rishi from Microdots. So they start talking, and he starts saying his complaint, which is that on March 21, 2025, don't forget that's right around when the time of the trial is about to start, right? That I met Brian Higgins, and this is the captain talking, who is a witness and testified in the ongoing Commonwealth versus Karen Reed criminal matter. Mr. Higgins stated he prepared a written statement with accompanying documents regarding Richard Q and his work with Aidan Carney and Karen Reed. He provided documents that are attached to this report. And then furthermore, this comes straight from our friends, Kevin from South Boston, right? You're wrong. Hey, yo. So March 21, 2025, Detective Lieutenant Tully, he says, I am writing to report a pattern of witness intimidation and harassment. Oh my God, by Mr. So-and-so, who I believe resides in Quincy. Mr. So-and-so is also known as Microdots. And based on publicly available information, oh my God, he's terrible. I can't believe he actually did this. He says, he is, oh, you guys can see it. Hold on. Let me see if I can. You guys can't see it. You can't see what I'm reading. 1 second. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Oh my God. Right there. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it now. So let me see if I can make it bigger. Nope, I can't. Why can't I? Okay. I wanted to share this one then. Why can't I share this one? Let's do something. It won't let me. Oh, it lets me. Hold on. There we go. Can you guys see it better? Let's see. It looks like it's a little better. Okay, so I'm going to shut this off. Hold on. Let's see if you can still hear me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so can you hear me? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2. Again. Okay, perfect. Detective Lieutenant Tully, I am writing to report a pattern of witness intimidation and harassment by Mr. Richard, that's Microdots, who I believe resides in Quincy, Massachusetts. Mr. Microdots is also known online as Microdots, and based on publicly available information, appears to own and operate blah, 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 LLC. Mr. Microdots operates the YouTube channel Microdots, blah, 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 which currently has 31,000.7 subscribers and approximately 40 videos, some of which I have noted below. He also manages the Microdot Facebook page, which has approximately 4.5 likes and 7.6 thousand followers. This page contains a link to Microdots to dropmicrodots.com, which is listed as the official Microdots store and predominantly sells Karen Reed related products. Additionally, Mr. Microdots maintains a second Facebook page under the name blah blah blah. Mr. Microdots began targeting me through the creation and dissemination of videos on YouTube. These videos, a majority of which are narrated, focus on footage of myself and other Commonwealth witnesses at the waterfall at Barron Grill on January 28th, 2022. It's public information. Did you know that? Hey, Piggy Bear, this is all public information. We have access to all of this, including your letter here, Piggy Bear. Don't worry, I don't think you did this. So, and suggest that I was responsible for or conspire with others regarding the death of John O'Keefe. The videos have been widely circulated on platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter, and utilized as repeated content for other YouTubers. I believe these actions are intended to support an alternative narrative aligned with Karen Reed's defense team and to incite and encourage their followers to intimidate and harass me and other Commonwealth witnesses. Actually, no, Higgins. The intent is to bring to light information that has been kept away from the public. Information that should have been public information and available to all of us that are interested, just like you, because you're a decorated dude, right? Just like you, to get to the truth. So over the past 21 months, I have left in a constant state of, oh my, such a chicken, fear of my life, safety, and the safety of those close to me. I thought you were single. I have had to remain hypervigilant in public, and my daily life has been significantly disrupted. I'll join the club. You know, we do Foias on Fridays. I have been photographed while on duty at both Nashville International Airport and Boston Logan Internet, their public places, which has caused employment-related issues. Would you believe it? I have also been followed in stores, photographed while shopping and dining, and had multiple known individuals drive by my residence to openly record and photograph my home and vehicles, both personally owned and government issued. I have received threatening emails as recently as this week. When was this thing? January 21st, 2025. Mr. Microdots has openly admitted that Karen Reed is his client and collaborated with attorney Alan Jackson in pursuit of to free Karen Reed. That's what we do. We work for John O'Keefe. In social media posts, he has stated that he worked alongside with attorney Jackson in the war room, transforming ideas into visually compelling graphics, many of which we didn't have the opportunity to use. What? Many of which we didn't have the okay, whoa, back up. Hello, get off the booze, man. Leave the Jameson and ginger to the side. First of all, you're saying openly admitted that Karen Reed is his client. Are you his client? Are you paying for drop microdots, Higgins? Why would you have the opportunity to use any of it? Have you paid for it? Do you know what intellectual property is? On June 23rd, Mr. Microdots posted a photograph of himself with Karen Reed. Really? I want to see him. My close friend and client and beautiful Brennan, because she is. Here's to better days ahead. Free Karen Reed. I believe this photograph was taken during the first trial. On June 25th, Mr. Microdots again posted another photograph to Facebook. Okay, is that a crime? This time with himself and attorney Alan Jackson and wrote, one of the pinnacles of my careers has been collaborating with Alan Jackson in his pursuit to free Karen Reed. We spent countless hours in the war room together, meticulously discussing the case and transforming his ideas into compelling graphics, visually compelling graphics, many of which we did not have the opportunity to use. His brilliance and charisma extend far beyond the courtroom and are just as impressive as his performances within it. Thanks, AJ. I look forward to future collaborations with Wecker's Worksman Jackson and Queen LLP. Karen Reed's case, free Karen Reed, blah, blah, blah. I believe this photograph was taken during the first trial. Mr. Microdots, on his own Microdots Facebook page, under the life events of 2023, posted, started new job at Weckersman. I love it. Oh my God, isn't it awesome? Following the new trial, Mr. Microdots has created and published multiple videos on YouTube in which he advances the defense third-party culprit theory. Mr. Microdots conducts involved intentional efforts to instill fear in me. What are you, 10? It's a video. Remember you broke a controller as a Commonwealth witness and encouraged others to harass and intimidate me and other Commonwealth witnesses. You can't write for shit. It also seems that Mr. Microdots is attempting to taint a future jury pool that does not seem right if he is working for the defense team. At the second trial, as the second trial approaches, I fear that the intimidation harassment directed towards me and the other witnesses will escalate. On or about March 3rd, 2025, YouTube creators Randy Raymer, There's Comes JFK Show Off, and James Amaral, blah, 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 hosted a live stream titled at Karen Reed 28 Days Still Trial, All Eyes on the Prize, 6,000.7 views. The promotional material for this broadcast, which remains publicly accessible, prominently features a photograph of me taken during my response to the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing, where I'm wearing an ATF raid jacket. Alarmingly, a firearm optic has been superimposed over my head, accompanied with a caption, You're in the defense scope now, KFSB. Through other broadcasts, Raymer and Amaral frequently refer me as Kevin from South Boston because that's how you identified yourself. You're Kevin from South Boston. Decorated dudes, right? So prior to this specific live stream, they have repeatedly utilized context created and disseminated by microdots and in connection. That's not true. They took the content on the video and they been breaking down that video into pieces. So of course the original video came first from court, right? And then microdots was the one who did his microdots thing on the waterfall. But after he did that waterfall video, it's being JFK show off playing the waterfall video over and over and over and over and over until a point of no return. Prior to this specific live stream, they have repeatedly utilized content created by disseminated by microdots in connection with myself and other whatever. As a result of this conduct and my role as a witness in the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed, I live in fear for my safety daily. I have been an ATF agent since 2009, and I have conducted numerous state and federal investigations, including undercover operations resulting in convictions. Many of these defendants are now aware of my personal identifying information, PII, including my residence and my vehicles, compounding my concerns for safety. You're such a crybaby. Thank you for your time and attention of this serious issue. I remain available for further information and evidence to support this matter. Respectfully, Brian Patrick Higgins. Oh, look, is that? Yeah. Oh, he's handsome and tall. So that's one. That's two. I don't know why they're backwards. Wait, let's see who's featured here on the Jeannie something Wadi. And the other one is microdots. And the other one is anti-deb. So he's taking pictures of shatters. Oh my God, maybe I'm here saying, Higgins, I know you're innocent. Let me see. Maybe he caught me. Let me see if he caught me. And maybe he didn't. I'm not that special. Little B is there. Carrie B is there. Lynn Diaz is there. Mary Whitcomb. Oh my God. And there's James and Karen. James is also very tall. And then my close friend. Yeah, why wouldn't he? Damn, Richie's tall. So Karen should be around 5'3", 5'4", maybe. I don't think any taller than that. Richie should be at least 6 foot, 6'1", at least. Framed. I really like that. And then exclusive. Soul here. Total Boy stuff. So Goat Boy. Oh my God. He made it. Goat Boy made it. And there's more. And there's more. Beverly Hills. Penjos. Whatever. There's more. And there's Queen of FAFO 44. Oh my. Federal offense. Another post. He's just posting stuff like, to support his claim that there is a reason why he lives in fear for his life. So, hold on. Let me see if I can stay on this live thing and then go back to the next one. Where's the next one? I skip a couple. This is the PowerPoint presentation from Whiffin. This is another report, redacted also. That may be a replica or a duplicate. I'm not sure. I got to check it out and check all the content in it to see if something changed. This one is the Lopilato situation. This one is the Bruce O'Rourke. This one is the same thing that we just talked about Higgins. That's the actual report. This one is, it says plaintiff, Michael Berry and Diane Berry. Who are these people? It's gonna have some sort of relationship. Attorneys Helena Rafferty. So that's probably because due to the what do you call that? The accident that Helena had and didn't report it and acted like it was nothing because she was driving her cruiser. And Hank Brennan from Knowles Hannah. Who's Hannah Knowles? She's a forensic scientist and a toxicology. Wait a minute. If she's okay, MSP Crime Laboratory. So she works at the same place where Chris, what do you call that? Chris Kelly works. We'll read those. And there's another email from Hannah to Hank Brennan. Here is Karen Reed, Garrett Wing, appearance on Melanie Little. So this is I guess this is an affidavit too. That would be interesting to read, but I'm sure that, she would like to read it herself. I'll read it to myself. And let me see what this is. Commonwealth versus Massachusetts, Karen Reed, docket, and this is adding the ad hoc lawyers, Robert Alessi and whatnot. This is the aperture, one of the aperture payments, and it's for $44,000. Wait, I need to open that real quick. Can you guys see this? Let's see, because I need to know what date were they paid, prior to, afterwards, in between. When were they paid? Let's see. Okay, here you can see it. So I just checked, and it looks like this payment occurred on 11/15/2024, which means that trial 1 had already ended, right? On July 2nd, 2024, the first trial had already ended. And by November, the second trial didn't start until, wait, I'm getting confused. The second trial ended June 18th, 2025. June 18, 2025. These people are getting paid in between. So what have they done so far? Why are they getting paid in between? New England Weather Science. Okay, wait. What is this payment for? $34,000. Penalty interest amount? Penalty for what? $44,510.62 on penalty. Number 5714.0924. Lakewood Boulevard, Suite, Long Beach, California. $350 for what? GEN expert. Okay, wait. No records returned. Exordia. Let's see when she got paid. She's getting paid March 19th, 2025. Wait. Yep, because the email that had her was somewhere around May 11th, 2023. So that's interesting. I have to print all of these, and I have to organize them by, what do you call that? Oh my God. No. Oh, Jesus Christ. There we go. To be able to put them where they belong. So if I close that up, let me see what you guys are going to see. Okay, we're going to go back to the same page where we were before, which is, let's see if it took you back. If it took you back with me. Let's see. Okay, we're going to go back to the same. It's not showing it. I'm checking and it's not showing it. Yeah, it did. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go to this one first. And go back out of this. That's the first folder. And we're going to go to the next folder. So the next folder has another set. It's got Ted Daniels stuff. Interview with Ted Daniels. It's got a copy of transcripts between William Reed and Janet Reed. It's got the special district attorney, Hank Brennan, emails to him, more emails to him, copy of voicemails, Adam Lally. Let's see the copy of voicemails. Where are they at? Bloody in the Snow. In Commonwealth. Let's see if it's here.
Oh, hello, Mr. Hanky Panky Brennan.
Oh my! Did you guys hear that? Wait, I need to check.
Okay, we're gonna go back to it. It's not.
Did you guys hear that? Wait, I need to check. Did you guys hear it or not? Can somebody text me so I can get off this thing? Because I gotta check on the other side. Oh my god.
Okay, we're
Wait.
It's not showing it. I'm checking
on the other side. Oh my god.
Okay, it's not showing it. I'm checking.
Okay, wait.
On the other side. Oh my god. It's not showing it. I'm checking.
You're about to get some defamation filings against you, sir. You are lying about a lot of different people out in court, and it's getting a little out of hand. I ain't got nothing to do with Karen.
I have nothing to do with what? Wow. Wow. Oops. Oh. Who is this woman? Hold on. Oops. Oops. Do we believe him? Were you guys able to hear it? Yes or no? Hold on. Do we believe him? Oh, wait. I want to believe him. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I think I know what happened. Okay, here we go. So let's try this.
Watching, dude.
Let's see.
Oh, hello, Mr. Hanky Panky Brennan, liar of all liars. You're about to get some defamation filings against you, sir. You are lying about a lot of different people out in court, and it's getting a little out of hand. I ain't got nothing to do with Karen Reed. Don't care whether she's innocent, guilty, whatever. That's about the trial. But you are a liar. You are lying about
my God,
attorneys, about investigators.
And that one we heard. So let me go back to this one. Play it. Come on. Why doesn't he want to go? Wait.
Mr. Brennan, I just got to get back to you real quick. I want to let you know that I had formally emailed the Department of Justice. I sent emails to Pam Bondi. Everything that you're doing, I have clips that I sent over from the last hearing last Tuesday. I sent the Department of Justice and the FBI so much information regarding you and your lies and your cover-up, along with Canton Police Department. I am so pissed off at what you're doing, all right? A lot of people, a lot of lawyers are the same. They feel the same. Brother, you're not good, okay? I just want to let you know that when the hammer drops, I would hate to be sitting in your pants, brother. That's all I got for you. Good luck. Fuck.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad I stopped it. Wait, let's see if we can hear this one, because the second one is actually the best one. So I want to go back to it, and I want to go back. I don't know what happened.
Mr. Brennan, I'm
Yeah.
calling you from Washington, D.C. I'm a trial lawyer down here, and I just want to give you a call because what you're doing to our Constitution is a disgrace. You, my friend, will be seeing a lot of us in court real soon, right after your hearing with Karen Reed. We're filing several motions against you. By the way, the ACLU is highly involved with this case and watching every single thing you say. We're watching everything. So just stand by, my friend. Keep doing what you're doing because everything's being documented. We're coming after you lawfully, civilly. We're going to shut you down. We're going to take your license away, my friend. And guess what? The President of the United States is watching this case. Have a good day, sir.
Oops. Yeah, D-Mart, I was looking for you to see if you would post something because I wanted to know if you were hearing. People were outraged. We were not the only ones that were outraged about the entire thing. This is just, our emotions, our feelings, everything. It was shared by many people. So copy of the videos, Canton detective file. There's a video process transferring. There's a report also on another one of the 111s, 112. Attorney Alan Jackson, copy of transcripts of defendant. And that's the Ted Daniel thing. So this one is going to be interesting too. Same but different reports. I want to get to, there's a Bob Alessi email too, going to Mary Ellen Gray, which is the court lady. And I'm going to open this one and see if, there's more. Oh my God. Okay, let's go.
Hey, Hank, get a load of this. You're nothing but a fucking cunt.
Wait, beep, 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 beep. Oh my God.
Mr. Brennan, my name's Stewie. I'm up here in Gloucester.
What?
I'm in an
Oh,
ice
in Gloucester.
house. I work here from 1 o'clock in the morning until 8 a.m. But I'm going to tell you something. I found you because you were molesting little boys. You were sucking little boys.
Oh my God. No, I can't. I'm sorry. There's,
Brennan,
oh my God. Here we go.
I've been watching you for the past fucking 7 months. I want you to know, when you see me, you looked right at me 3 times. I'm not even from your state, motherfucker. Thank God the United States of America has me employed. Okay? So that's how I'm going to tell you with that. You might think that we stopped, but we're still here and we're still pursuing our investigation. I've been out all night and I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I can work 48 hours on your 8 hours. Got it? What I'm telling you? Our investigation isn't going to stop because you said so. But
Investigation.
I came all the way from Virginia for one reason only, and that's to come after what you're doing to Karen Reed.
Ouch.
Mr. Donald Trump is very interested in this case. I just want you to know.
Okay, so now I'm starting to try to see whose voice does that sound like.
You know what you should do, Hank? You should just tie a noose to your fucking neck.
My God, this guy, I'm far from having enough subs to be monetized, and you're gonna kill all of my chances before I even do. Like, what the heck?
'Cause you know why? With all those ties, you Poindexter scumbag bastard. My name is fucking Frank, and I'm coming to get you.
Is this Frank Fiorillo or whatever? Do we think this could be the Fiorillo guy? Oh.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Oh.
I'm gonna put you in a shoebox. Because you're fucking.
Oh my God.
United States Constitution. I'm gonna chop you up when I get you.
Oh.
And then see what happens. You know what? I'm a neutral scumbag. I don't like what you're doing to the Constitution. You're a fuck.
Okay, let's listen to the next one.
Hank.
The first one I thought he was a lawyer, but now it's like it's
me,
losing.
This is Rory Buffalino down here in Pittston, Pennsylvania.
Who?
I gotta tell you,
Buffalino.
you were with Whitey and everybody, but what are you doing? Like, what are you doing with this girl? This girl, Karen. But, you know,
Oh my God.
my uncle's gonna be fucking pissed off once he finds out on the internet
cares
that you're
about your
doing
uncle?
some shit. The mob is not gonna be happy because I'm trying to talk to you. You fucking hung up on me.
Oh my.
It's Rory, bruh. It's Rory. You talk to me through fucking Whitey. But anyway,
Oh.
it's Rory.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm writing names down. There goes Josie on a rabbit hole. Rory who? Right. And yeah, this is pretty telling. I'm not sure what to believe. He doesn't seem stable.
Mr. Brennan.
Oh my God. Here
My name is Josh. I live in the great state of Arizona.
Oh my God.
You hear yourself? We're listening to you. I firmly believe that this is not good for you. You're lying for your teeth. Dude, the whole world knows what happened to Karen Reed. She is innocent.
He's making
She
names
didn't
as
even
his
go
as he
inside
goes.
that house at 34 Fairview. They killed him inside that house, Officer John O'Keefe. Karen Reed had nothing to do with it. She already left the scene. He was inside dying. John O'Keefe, he was getting beat up. Colin Albert, the Alberts, the Mick Albert family, whatever they're called. McKay's, McCabe.
You don't even know their names.
Hashtag Hank Brennan. Why don't you ever sign affidavits?
What? Wait, that's it? I recognize that voice. Hold on. That's it? No, play it again.
Hashtag Hank Brennan. Why don't you ever sign affidavits?
Why don't you ever sign any affidavits? Does that sound like Ted Daniels to you? Hold on. McDonald's French fry. I want to hear it again.
Hashtag Hank Brennan. Why don't you ever sign affidavits?
Why don't you ever sign affidavits? That sounds like Ted Daniels to me. I'm pretty sure. So let's try this one. Is this the same one that we were in? Oh my God, my hand. Hold on. Keep one open. There we go. Yep, that's the same one. Okay, and this one is. We already heard those three. And this one is Commonwealth Aperture. I guess this is a report. Yep. This is the entire Aperture report that is embedded here. So I know a couple of people that have been working on the Foia documents to cull to, what is it, that are invested on the key cycles. Me, not so much. I'm looking for a way to nail this before. Oh, what about that? There's a scratch there. Early on. So if we do that, then we don't have to worry about it. These people are so stupid. And I think this was available in one of the reports, one of the FOIA dumps that came earlier. Episode 3. So this is the that's kind of cool. The Body in the Snow episode. And let's see what this is. Hank Brennan, Gray, and she says, Aiden Carney admits a day before his motions hearing, Reed and another attorney will be present. Aiden Carney admits a day before his motion hearings, hearing Karen and her attorneys will be present. Oh my God. Like, this is like what? Like the telephone game? She's giving him a heads up that Aiden Carney admits a day before his motions hearing that Karen and her attorneys will be present. Okay. Oh, wait. Breaking news. U.S. Department of State. Did you guys see that? No, it's something else. It doesn't have anything to do with our case. So, parents of Karen Reed. This is the same Buddy on the Snow thing. Interviewed Ted Daniels, which we've seen that. Let me tell you, I watched it again the other day, and Karen said a couple of things that I'm not sure whether you all heard, but it was pretty interesting. I was able to pick up a couple of extra pieces of nuggets, as we call them. And wait, I'm going to have to print these. We already read that one. And that one I need to print. The rest of them I need to print. It's not going to be so, this is not so much like, that big of a deal, what has been released. I'm going to see just to make sure if by any chance I missed something and I only downloaded one. But one of the documents that was sent to me as a heads up is this. I'm going to show you. It's a report between Higgins and Brian Tully. Hold on. And I'm going to bring it. It's on the pictures. I already took a picture of it. Let me see. Okay, let me see if I can share this screen with you. Hold on. Okay, so share screen. No. Okay. Can you guys see it? I'm hoping you can. Yeah, there you go. You can see it. So this is a report that Captain, hold on, Lieutenant Brian Tully meeting with Brian Albert. I've heard before about this. And somebody reminded me too that we had heard before about this. But this is the first time that I actually see. Yeah, it looks like Nick. That's what I thought. And the last one sounded like Ted Daniels. So, but this report that I'm showing you guys is a letter that says that on March 28th, 2025, Brian Albert attended a meeting at the Norfolk District Attorney's Office with Attorney Greg Hannon. Also present for the meeting were Special Assistant District Attorney Hank Brennan, Victim Advocate Steve Nelson, and I, Lieutenant Brian Tully. Mr. Albert stated that he had not communicated with Brian Higgins for many months. This is March 29th, 2025. Leading up to the first trial of the Commonwealth versus Reed. Following the trial, Mr. Albert ran into Brian Higgins at a local Harbor Freight hardware store. He recalled, wait, here, I can't read it. He recalled, where did he go? Oh, he recalled that he saw Mr. Higgins one additional time. He stated that he has exchanged text messages since those encounters. Mr. Albert recalled a time that he was at the Hillside Pub with Mr. Higgins sometime after John O'Keefe's death. He stated a person he knew from Canton and considered a friend, Tom Beatty, was at the pub and began staring at Mr. Albert. Mr. Albert approached Mr. Beatty to ask him, right, if everything was okay, right. Mr. Beatty was with a couple. Mr. Albert also knows from Canton the Currents. Mr. Albert and Mr. Current went outside to talk to Mr. Higgins. Oh, and Mr. Higgins stayed in the pub. The topic of the conversation was the death of John O'Keefe and resulting criminal trial. Mr. Beatty stated something is weird and mentioned calling Albert. Mr. Albert and Mr. Beatty went back into the pub. Mr. Beatty and the Currents left a short time after. Mr. Albert stated Mr. Higgins did not know, that's not true, did not know the Currents or Mr. Beatty. Mr. Albert stated Mr. Beatty has confronted other people about the death of John O'Keefe at the criminal trial. And this report comes up very late on the game. Very late in the game. Let me see. Hold on. So I'm going to close this one up. And I want to bounce ideas with you guys. I want to talk about something. And, the whole McNamara situation has been bothering me like a lot. And I wanted to, hey, sweetheart, how are you? I wanted to let you guys know what I feel could be happening here. None of us knew about this thing until it actually exploded on Twitter, right? That McNamara had been retaliated and harassed by the Calter guy. We already talked about the Calter guy on Twitter. We know where he comes from. He had other positions, first in the private sector, and it was all like environmental. Then he became a representative for the state, sort of like at the same time, coinciding with the Morrissey situation. There's a lot of rumors out there, but one thing I know for sure, the town meeting that was held on Tuesday, the one that we all watched, that both Mike and Massa Media streamed, that town meeting showed the outrage of the people trying to sort of like put out complaints and reach out to these people, to their town officials, without any luck. Unsuccessfully, time after time after time. Everybody that stood up there with, I don't know how quickly they did those orange shirts. And that's what I'm saying. Maybe we don't know if this has been going on for a long time. I do know this. The minute that we found out that Chief McNamara had been harassed and retaliated by this idiot, right? The town, whatever, in Stoughton, I started doing some digging. Turns out that he was nominated for the town head honcho, right? Sometime in November. In December 2022, and I'm going to go back to this to show you. In December 2022, what happened? Well, what happened was that he took office and Sandra had already died, remember? So think about this for a minute. If in February Sandra dies, Chief McNamara holds a press conference in September 2021, telling everybody that she's going to be calling in for an internal affairs investigation because she's under the impression that more of her officers may be conflicted out, and she wants to step out of it, right? She's doing the right thing. She's calling out her whatever, what do you call it? Her internal investigation, her IA investigation. So they do their thing and she doesn't have to. So they are the ones that are investigating. So they are the ones that come up with the results of whether more people in the Stoughton police department are involved in this situation or not, right? Right? I mean, that's what happened. So I'm going to bring up this. First, I'm going to bring this one up. Hold on.
That he couldn't control.
And you detail here that even back in 2024, Donna initiated an internal investigation, obviously involving the Birchmore case, in which a report was issued, and on multiple occasions, it alleges here that Calter ordered Donna to destroy the report, calling it a hit piece, and that she refused to violate department policies and protocols. This stems back to 2 years ago. These allegations stem back to this back and forth happening long time ago.
I think that I think it does. And I think, to the extent some kind of conversation or complaint was made to Calter, he's using this as a springboard to kind of get rid of her.
So let's put it this way, right? This thing was 4 days ago. So she gets a lawyer to get involved, right? And the lawyer gets involved. The lawyer starts talking to the press. She starts, the outcry for all the injustices and the atrocities that Chief McNamara has had to endure. This guy has been calling her at night during nighttime hours, right? And he feels like he's entitled and empowered because he is the town head honcho. Well, no, there are boundaries. You're entitled to call me if there's a problem and the chief of police is supposed to go or make an active presence at any given place, right? But you're not supposed to call me to harass me and drive me crazy because you don't want me there. And why don't you want me there? Now, this is where I want you guys to sort of like click. As far as, hold on.
Well, town officials are refusing to discuss what's behind the sudden leadership change. Our NBC 10's Amelia Fabiano worked to get some answers tonight.
The town confirmed to us today there is an acting chief in place, but they wouldn't say why. Chief McNamara's attorney, meanwhile, says she never stepped down, she never resigned, and she was never told she was out in the first place.
She is not on leave. She hasn't resigned. She's still under her contract. And in fact, she learned today with everybody else that she's been temporarily replaced.
Stoughton Police Chief Donna McNamara's attorney claims the chief was told earlier this month, after 10 years in the role, resign or be fired.
The only thing the town has said there is a complaint against her. They have not given any details about it. They haven't commenced an investigation over it.
Attorney Leah Barolt says it's not uncommon for chiefs to have complaints filed against them. McNamara refused to resign and filed a harassment complaint against town manager Thomas Calter earlier this week, alleging he had been gossiping and disparaging McNamara while also calling and texting her almost every day for the past 2 weeks.
Chief McNamara has just been asking the town for 2 weeks to come back to work.
So you heard that. For 2 weeks, the TRO, whatever, right? The town hadn't done crap. C-R-A-P, crap. May I repeat? They hadn't done shit. So the minute that McNamara tightens her belt and gets a lawyer, files a lawsuit, and attempts to put an end to all of this harassment, the civil rights violation, because this is a civil rights violation. This is a retaliation because she was the one who started the IA investigation back right after Sandra Birchmore was found dead. And they started saying that it was a suicide and it turned out to be a homicide. She was the one who took herself out of the equation, understood that her police town, whatever, right? Her police, whatever, was conflicted out. Why? Because there could be possible more police officers within the same town, the SPD, that were involved in this situation. So she gets a lawyer. She files a lawsuit. She's granted an emergency hearing in like seconds. In seconds. And the minute that happens, the following Tuesday, there's a town hall. Everybody shows their support. The fire department stood up for Chief McNamara. Everybody was outraged for Chief McNamara. And suddenly, right after Tuesday, what happened? Oh, now the town wants to stop the hearing because they put both of them on discipline, whatever, absence without whatever, right? And they have initiated their own investigation. So I'm going to ask you a question. Why? Why did you wait until she got a lawyer and she filed a lawsuit? Why did you wait until an emergency hearing was granted instantly, like Quaker oatmeal? Like instantly it was granted to hear her side. You know why? Because what happened to Chief McNamara, it's unheard of. You don't do that. There are processes, there are procedures. I don't care if it's state, if it's federal. There are procedures to follow, SOPs, laws that prevent situations like this from happening, especially when Calter is claiming that he wanted her report, that the report that she finally attained, right, got back to her, was given to her, finalized, because there were investigations and even meetings happening in 2026 in regards to all of this. He wanted it destroyed. Now, I'm going to give you a hint. Who did we have in Canton? For all of you who don't know, Canton and Stoughton border each other. Canton, Stoughton, and Milton are like right there, right? You can get there within 10, 15 minutes, depending on where you are in either state. Now, if you have somebody in Canton, in 2021, Sandra Birchmore dies, right? We know who were the first responders when Sandra Birchmore died. We know who were the people who saw and attained that recording, the video. We know who met who in parking lots and conducted, sidebar meetings with each other. We know that. This is December 2022. In November, they are appointing somebody for the head honcho position at Stoughton. Why do you think that is? Why do you think they need somebody as a head honcho position in Stoughton PD? I mean, they got Elena Rafferty in Canton, right? Right? They didn't have, apparently, anybody at Stoughton PD. What happens with these TROs, these head honchos of each town, that the select board is the one that is controlling these police departments in these small towns? That cannot continue to happen. I don't know how they're going to change that structure, but that is the worst structure ever. Because when situations like this happens and somebody has their own hidden agenda and the Calter guy wants to get his hands on that report and the Calter guy wants to destroy that report, allegedly, that's what's been out there, right? When that's what his purpose to being sitting on that chair after having worse situations in Kingston where he was, after having gone to school, he went to grad school with Berkowitz. Berkowitz graduated ahead and he graduated a year or two, as I was told later, but still they know each other. He was a state representative. Morrissey and Calter know each other. How long are we going to continue with this, pushing each other's influence and getting some pull so somebody can be seated strategically where they need to be? Because if we have somebody in Canton and we have somebody in Stoughton, guess what happens? How did Chris Albert get a hold of Sullivan's police report? Sullivan was requesting Foia to obtain his police report. a copy of the police report, because even though he was mentioned on the opening statement by Adam Lally, even though he knew that he went to Kenton PD and he provided an affidavit and sat with inspectors and sat with detectives and sat and provided his version of events, nobody called him. Nobody called him as a witness. And as it turned out, what Sullivan put in his affidavit when he met with Canton PD is totally different from what resulted in that report. Right? Now I'm going to tell you something else. Looking into all of those documents, at some point, we need to start taking a more active role. If we go to a police department, right, and we are providing an affidavit on behalf of any situation, any crime, anything that we could have seen, see something, say something, right? I should be able not only to obtain a copy of that report the minute, like somebody should say, okay, give us a minute, and hand that interview to somebody that will transcribe it, right, while I wait, and a copy of that report is given to me for two reasons. First, it should have the signature of the person who is giving that affidavit. And second, I should leave that police department if there's nothing to hide, if there is nothing nefarious, if there is nothing wrong, altered, or illegitimate about it, I should be able to leave with a hard copy, I'm sorry about the redundancy, of the affidavit I just gave to two detectives in a police department. I don't care where it is. So that's the first thing. When that happens, if that would have happened, if that would have been implemented back in the day, right? Do you think that Sullivan would have spent almost a year and a half putting FOIA requests and asking for a copy of his report? But guess who had it right away? Guess who confronted Sullivan about the testimony, the meeting, the interview that Sullivan had with detectives at Canton PD? Guess who had it? Chris Albert. Why is that? Because Chris Albert was in the Canton Select Board. He was right there. And what the Canton Select Board does is that what? They have access to whatever the police department of their town has. Right? I just took a drink of water. So let me ask you a question. In December 2022, right? Is there a coincidence or is there not a coincidence that in December 2022, Calter takes over as a head honcho of the Stoughton town select board, whatever, right? I'm almost like not wanting to say it. I mean, it is so obvious that it's like, do I really need to say it? It is so obvious that it's like, if I really need to spell it out, then I don't know what we're doing here. You have to have friends in low and high places. This is how this chain operates. Every single one of these people that occupy a position in any of these places is a link to this chain. And the chain works, the chain functions. What happened in September when Brian Albert was supposed to get his preservation order? Well, in March 2022, Andrea Campbell and Maura Healy had already assigned and appointed Caitlin Albert to where? To the AG's office, right? She started working in September. Would you believe it? And all of a sudden, they're issuing a court order for preservation of all the cell phones. But guess what? Oh, it was my birthday, and I already upgraded it. I got the letter a day later. Seriously? It's like, tricks are for kids, man. Tricks are for kids, remember? You silly rabbit. So then you have Chris Albert with Sully's testimony. Is the result of his interview, and he's confronting Sully, and that is not cold witness intimidation, but all of this is, right? And then you have Calter harassing and retaliating against Chief McNamara because he wants to get his hands on that report.
Says McNamara has spent her time as chief leading reforms inside the department after the Sandra Birchmore case.
She was a major force in actions being taken against male Stoughton police officers. And she's still cooperating with the FBI and an important part of that case. I can't rule out that it's not connected to that.
The town sent NBC 10 a statement only saying it does not discuss personnel matters and confirmed Deputy Chief James O'Connor has been named acting chief.
So when this happened, which was 8 days ago, the first thing that the town said was that they had already an interim chief.
O'Connor has been named acting chief.
There really is nothing.
Has been named acting chief.
There really is nothing.
Deputy Chief James O'Connor, personnel matters, only saying it does not discuss personnel matters and confirmed Deputy Chief James O'Connor has been named acting chief.
But if we look at some of the reports that we have gotten on Twitter, the thing today was stopped. The hearing today was sort of like stopped, right? Hold on. Let's bring Kelly here. Okay. So early today, I hear McNamara Town of Stoughton and Thomas Calter. Stoughton Police Chief Donna McNamara has filed a first amended verified complaint in Norfolk Superior Court, expanding on allegations against the town of Stoughton and town manager Thomas Calter. According to the filing, McNamara alleges she was told to resign with dignity or face immediate termination without any investigation. She was barred from performing her duties despite of no charges or formal disciplinary actions. Calter conducted a campaign of intimidation, disparagement, and retaliation, including repeated calls and texts urging her to resign. She was falsely portrayed as having voluntarily stepped down, like he was trying to say that she was the one who quit, while an acting police chief was announced. So that happened 8 days ago. She claims retaliation for cooperating with the FBI in the Sandra Birchmore Matthew Farwell investigation and for refusing demands to destroy an internal Birchmore-related investigative report. The amended complaint includes claims for breach of contract, declaratory relief, violation of Massachusetts whistleblower statutes. And this complaint was amended and is different. You know why? Because this tells me that she's going to be suing the town. She's going all in. There's no going back to being Chief McNamara after any of this. She's going to share and say and provide every single little evidence that she has in the internal Birchmore-related investigative report, and she is not in fear of not getting her job back. You know why? Because when this is done, she's not going to have to. She's going to retire in Bermuda, maybe Barbados. Tortola is actually nicer than all of them. And if she wants to go closer, maybe Turks and Caicos. But this case continues to raise significant questions about the leadership turmoil inside the Stoughton Police Department, alleged retaliation against the police chief, and the broader fallout surrounding the Sandra Birchmore investigation. I love Kelly. So somebody, please tell her that I read her thing. She needed to get credit for that. Towel News is also amazing, but I wanted to show you something else. Hold on. if we look at where is it? Not so fast, Casper. Do you know who Casper is? I'll show you to you. Yeah, like the little ghost. No man, and I firmly believe this, no man or woman should have any power on this earth, at least in our country, to run an honest individual out of our seat, out of our positions of authority. And if they do, it cannot be without a damn fight. Based on the public records, this is what I found. Thomas Calter graduated from Cardinal Spellman High School in 1975. He went to North Adams State College in 1979, graduate, and he was an undergraduate at the same time that Chief Berkowitz was there, right? He was a little bit older. So the other person that was also there is Boston Herald's editor, Joe Dunell. Now, he also got an MBA from Northeastern University, right? It's like, oh my God. So if you think about the 2020 Kingston restaurant fight, because there was a fight, and that fight involved Calter and involved another town manager, and it was explosive because it was over a legal dispute, the same crap, the same thing that we're seeing right now. It was involving allegations of harassment and gender discrimination, that it was an unlawful smear campaign, just like McNamara, but in this moment, it wasn't with anyone else other than another woman. Here's the name. Hold on. There you go. So I remember, it's like, I can't believe, I can't. And then he made another remark, like, it better not be a woman. Like, this is a woman hater. That's what he is. Jessica Kramer. That was the select person at Kingston, which is another town in Massachusetts. She was in the select board, and it was a confrontation between him and her. The same crap. But he also was, as I said, a state representative. And he also worked in the public sector, in the private sector, in the environmental whatever. So it's like, it takes a lifetime to build a reputation, right? And it takes less than 3, 4, 5 minutes to damage it. Once you damage it, the same lifetime that it took to build that reputation is going to take to build it again and earned, if you're able, earn people's trust. So here we go with Grant Smith Ellis, which is already him, Massa, everybody has been involved in this McNamara, because this is huge. If you think that Sandra Birchmore, John O'Keefe, Craig Casey, and before I go any further, I got to show you something. If you think that any of this are big, imagine if we allowed that things like this happened.
Intelligence agents.
Internal police departments, and nobody does anything. And we have decoys acting as head honchos at top select board, whatever towns that control our police department. That is the gravity of it. That's
Mossad,
what we all have great
the
concern.
Prime Minister, like the Sultan of Brunei, CIA, like NSA, whatever. But his actual paymasters and handlers, KGB, SVR, that is it started with Khashoggi, and it kept going through Epstein. That is what Epstein was doing, is classic KGB, SVR. Now listen, I don't doubt. Now listen, you got to think about the kibbutzes in the 90s. Epstein got expelled from Israel. You must understand, he was out there in the kibbutzes, and the idea Mossad threw him out of Israel because he was being weird. You got to really push it to get thrown out of Israel, okay? At the kibbutzes of all. That's like little settlements, okay, in the occupied territories. If you're out there and doing bad stuff, like you can do.
I'm getting these nuggets from a lot of people, and it's like, I'm trying to be careful too, because people are starting to trust me, and I take that like way seriously. Like, I don't play with that. So, but somebody sent me this, and I was like, whoa, what? Listen to this. Listen to this. I'm going to play it for you. Let me see if I can play it. And I think he got scared too, because this is an audio recording. Hold on. Yeah, it's coming. It was a couple of days ago, and I'm trying to get back to it because I didn't want to save it for the obvious reasons. But I'm going to share it to see what you think, because it makes sense when, here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Guys, ready? Hang on to your seats.
Not really, but oh shit! I almost just spilled fucking hot coffee all over me. I'm not law enforcement. I'm not a lawyer. Everything I talk about here is drawn from public records. It's first-hand observation. I was a pro boxer for 15 years at CTE. My brain works a little differently than it used to with pattern recognition. What happened with Rakes' murder? Why he was murdered, who he was murdered by, whose body was pronounced dead by, examined by, within information committee, convicted him easily of the murder of Steven Rakes' best friend, who was pitching his deal to Hollywood. The only other guy who knew was the true story of it, actually. It was also, sent a message. Rakes he was going to expose some stuff that they didn't need exposed. And the guy who was pitching his life story, the guy who was trying to market it and sell rights to his life story, he killed Rakes so he couldn't tell a story, and the guy that he didn't tell it to and having them sell it, how they got his confession, he drugged them all up and said, oh, it was bad. Hank Brennan had already said that if Whitey had been able to testify, he would have exposed corruption in the very highest levels of government. And that's why the FBI did not allow him to testify. They didn't allow him to testify. They were going to let him testify without that stuff coming up, and then murdered. And then I saw the Rakes case. That was always a problem, and how quickly it closed when it was so clearly the biggest mafia-related story in maybe forever, really. He just fighting with Kevin Weeks a fucking couple of days before, just gets told he's not testifying against Whitey Bulger in his trial. Galileo, or Einstein, whoever, pick your smart parts. Pat Rogers. It's a delicate situation. Yeah, a delicate situation. Yeah, it's always a delicate situation. Give me a fucking break. Go back.
Can you guys hear it okay? Can you guys? Are you catching it? Or is it too high? Is it too low? Let me know. Let me know. I'm going to continue to play it, and I'm going to keep an eye on the chat.
Like Brian Albert, and then how these guys did that. It is a cop that got killed in Rogers too, but more often than we even know. I mean, they killed a kid at the Mass State Police Barracks and covered that up too. It's like they got to cover it up. It's like, oh wow, because we need recruits. It's gonna hurt recruiting. Yeah, no shit. Brian Albert acting like Billy Huffkits everywhere he goes, because that's why, and they put him on Boston's Finest, a Shoxton clip, but Christ, I mean, could you have cut it anything shorter from there? And they did. They cut it in a fraction of a second, but look at his white-ass, lazy, stupid-looking Jap. You can tell from that he don't know how to fucking right off the fucking bat. I hate to say it, but for the most part, people don't know that. So that was it. And then Brian with his funny mug on, and they're saying, oh, wow, you're a big brother. Brian Albert, I mean, and so he had to do that, and he took the bully routine all the way through, abused the power that was given to him, and he continues to do it so recklessly, and they were just able to, in that town, the Albert clan, that no one bothered Boston Cleat. I mean, is there something going on with the patrons? Why is everybody thinking the marathon?
Do you know who's who here? Does everybody know who's who here? Let me see. I can't see you guys yet. Let me see. You do? You guys know? Okay. Hold on. Where did I go? Here we go.
Unbothered Boston Fleet. I mean, is there something going on with the patrons? Why is everybody thinking the marathon will care of this?
Why him? Like, what the fuck? Why him? Do you see him? If you watch Boston Flames, which it's the worst fucking show you could ever. I can't believe it. I had to go back and fucking watch them all. Both seasons. I had never seen them before. I knew they were on it. But I had to go back and I watched every fucking. I scrubbed it every fucking episode. Oh my god, it's the fucking worst. It's the biggest joke to you on the show. But when you see fucking Brian Albert on there, it's just trying to speak like, oh, it's fucking awful. I mean, you know, it's just a whole lot of nothing.
This shit might be coming down because you feel it. Oh, Henzo Gracie, New Hampshire scam, because I do believe that at least the Henzo Gracie, New Hampshire, but I mean, we're gonna have to take out of the care of fucking Kevin Landry and his fucking wife. Came somebody for easy access to the country, giving their on a work visa, so they could do that for. You know how many immigrants they can get in doing that with all their... That's why they don't open the things, because they're going to have a ton of people in there fucking paying for fucking memberships. That isn't where their money's coming. Look at Enzo Gracie, the Edelman Raid, offering fucking babysitting services for fucking 2 hours, $60 or something like that. Send them kids here. They ain't making no fucking money. You know what I mean? They got a couple fucking dick riders that they've had since day one. Fuck these people. Like I said, Brian Albert, even if you are the bad guy, how fucking sucky of a bad guy are you? All these deals me fucking ratting people out fucking left and right and then saying this, saying this. You are a cop. Oh, what a fucking scumbag. And you know, O'Keefe only reason he went to the house with OK going was he thought you were a fucking brother, you were a Boston cop too. Should have known. But he was drinking, but he should have known he wasn't getting in there without a pat down. A guy's reporting you for coal and drug dealing.
So did you hear that? And it's going to get interesting. So I don't know if you guys want me to slow it down a little bit. It's going to get interesting. John O'Keefe did think that Brian Albert was a Boston police officer brother. We saw that at the waterfall when we watched the waterfall show. We saw it with our own eyes how what's his name, John goes to Brian Higgins and gives him a big hug, and then goes to Brian Albert and gives him a big hug. So there's a couple of things that I agree and don't disagree here, but for the most part, the fact that somebody had the guts to put this conversation out there and it's public, it's amazing to me. Now, listen to this and remember what we were talking about. Stoughton police.
A guy's reporting you for coal and drug dealing and whatever operation he got caught. He ain't getting in there without a pat down. To me, it was a case long before anybody else had started. The night that it happened, I knew there was a fucking problem. Like our conviction was not, it was secondary, and not even secondary. It didn't matter. The whole thing was keep it on her and podcast going, and we'll start talking about all this stuff that matters. Well, it's going to be rough because of the CTE. We'll talk about it. Started with the immigration and the Henzo Gracie and the Virginia Jiu-Jitsu scam and teacher self-defense system. I was looking into that he's teaching self-defense. I saw this fraud that he was and the scam that was, and it got me so. And that, you know, that's a story I guess for another day, but that's the one that can't be going on at the same time. I'm dealing with tunnels, but what they did was they came and tried to kill me. I went to the courthouse to confront this guy. He was in court, and when he came out, this is different stuff. We spoke real briefly, and I challenged him to a fight, a legal fight, and sign it. I said, we'll do a self-defense match, and that should be no problem at all. And I crossed the line on the floor of my foot. I said, take one step over that. If your foot crosses that line, I'm going to punch you in your fucking face. And he looked down to make sure that he didn't fuck up and step forward. He didn't cross the line. I'm thinking, what a bitch. And that was that. But he's a complete Henzo hog rider. Just clearly a trafficking scheme from the very beginning. It is, and the Gracies got their great name in here, but an infiltration of the country, as far as I'm concerned, and they got put at royal status here. And it's Kevin Landry, this guy Kevin Landry, Moonlight, Mr. fucking Miyagi. It's completely embellished and manufactured, and they were able to do it. because the Gracie family owns our International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation and the real stuff. Because what you would have to get into here is you'd have to get, and we know how things go, right? This was happening. The reason that these guys are involved in a lot of fun other things. So you got some serious problems now. All right. Wouldn't be happening like this. They wouldn't be able to get away with this stuff as freely. And that Steven Rakes fiasco, that Pat Ross said that's the marathon bombing. Those getting away with shit like that. There's all kinds of problems. With my voice, even though I have CTE and you probably can't even hear me, but for my self-defense course, that's really the best thing I can do for anybody. But this is as far as, because when you're editing something, when you have CTE and speak like a fucking fourth grade special education kid. Oh God! All right, but this episode, next episode. This is the first one. I'll talk about the first case in the next one. It's easy for them to say dilution. It's one of them things that they do, and in order to dilute it, they threw in the Turtle Boy, all these podcasters, which I forget, but it's like 95% CIA. I think that was the percentage, but it's high, something like ridiculously. I remember more.
I think it was in Boston. Greg Henning works there. That's Brian Albert's attorney. A lot of funny stuff there. Boston police, right?
Yeah, worked for WCVB or whatever it was from Boston, most famous weatherman, right? Back before the internet existed, the guy, Dickie Abbey, he's a patriarch of that Albert Finley's brother. He's their uncle, and didn't have to answer to Craig Casey. They didn't have to answer to Craig fucking Casey. Can you imagine that? And then you still accepted. At the very least, being accepted, right? Because Sandra Birchwell would go in and visit Foia right at the station. She'd go right in. So yeah, and I think Proctor was a little wanderer himself back in the day. That's a shocker.
Right, Larry Calderon, who's the president of the Boston Police Patrolmen's Union now. He was at Cameron Reed's arraignment, and he's speaking with the O'Keefe family, with the dad, Paul O'Keefe, John's brother. Marty Kraft owns the PI for hired Brian Albert as his private investigator after Brian left Boston Police Department, implicated by the defense in the John O'Keefe murder. It was at his house, and Brian he was killed in his house. And Marty Kraft, he'd been out with O'Keefe and Pat Rogers. O'Keefe and Pat Rogers were partners, and they were out with Marty. Marty spoke very highly of both, and then hired Brian Albert as his PI. I'm not sure how much high esteem he held those two in. It's odd to hire a private investigator that, I would think a dead body laying on your lawn 6 hours. I would think that's probably going to, he's not hiring him as a private investigator. Probably. I don't know. There's 100 people at your house. They're all even coming and going. You're sitting in there with an ATF. And then you said you know the whole system because you're able to. It's just crazy. But the Kraft hired him as a PI because the Pat Rogers thing. I'm going to get into that. They don't like it, but it is what it is. Let's be honest here. We don't have to. You don't have to pretend that reality is not reality when reality is reality. Even though it's hard to tell what is reality anymore. That is reality. We're talking Pat Rogers, right? And I know they brush down to the rug just like they would have with John O'Keefe. That was getting rushed quick. Look at that. And if O'Keefe, if they didn't get him by himself, they would have been a suicide. Like that's it. Go to otherwise. That's what they learned. That Rogers. Same thing with Birchmore. Rogers, they were able to get it. It was easy to handle back home. Everything just got. These were all easy to handle until Cameron Reed. For the most part, they really. Think about that. Think how deliberate what they did with Birchmore was. Think about how many people. He did it in Canton. He lived in Stoughton. It's all his cohorts. He clearly told them Kevin Albert was up there. They were banging away while she was dead. There ain't no question. Come on. So, in the Boston PD, nothing. O'Keefe was a victim. Brian Albert was accused in open court by Alan Jackson, who was defending O'Keefe. Who was defending Cameron Reed. Anything is going to be. Well, I don't really know exactly what can be done now. We'll see. Hemsville Gracie, New Hampshire scam run by Kevin McClinton Landry. All kinds of shit. We got that. You have the Boston Marathon. Forget murder before the marathon's in there. But what that ties to, and the CIA connections that's dictated a lot of what we've seen lately and for these past few years. It's a crazy story. Should be surprising. It really shouldn't be surprising. ACs for Christ's sakes. You're never gonna get everybody on the same side, even if they were. So that that even if everybody understood that, which the vast majority do, but it doesn't have to look like the vast majority does. They could make it look in a way. It's not like there wasn't tens of thousands of people going to any standouts. Let's put it that way. It's a fucking joke how many people were at all of them. To be honest, it is great that people did go. Half of them were probably fucking cyclops anyway, because they kept an eye on Karen Reed. But no one was there. And look at the Canton Select Board meetings. Yeah, it looked like it was full, 25 people for fuck's sake. But it didn't take long. It was fucking 3 people there. Okay, no problems. They did like this, and we did have this one problem with a fucking kid laying on the ground in the goddamn East Force and all this other shit out there looking for him, and they missed him. They stepped on 9 times while they were fucking fucking looking, but hey. And then someone called us an hour later and said that there was somebody there. You're fucking this. And that happened in that town. And there's fucking 3 people at the select board hitting me up. We're talking. And still Karen Reed. It's going to be known as Karen fucking Reed. Possibly. And then next, Mass State Police. They don't have a problem with that. Okay. I mean, a PSO, and there big punishments, not Jack Hawk gets done. A fire, oh, God. And then people, oh, great. And the news puts it. Oh, guy arrested for Mass State cop, arrested for giving out free fucking, or giving people licenses that didn't deserve it in order to get it. It's fucking, yeah, that's terrible. One fucking officer, you kidding me? The whole fucking body, you have any idea? Are you fucking crazy? That's news. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, but people take it and people talk about, I start to get a little excited. So Pat Rogers, it was the night of the premiere, the day of premiere, they had it that night. And Pat Rogers was on it. It was the second season. He'd already done the first season. Brian Albert, Jen Penn, and then it was up for the second season with Brian Albert, Jen Penn. Rogers has a bottle of whiskey and a 12-pack of beer next to him and committed suicide, according to the police. Not right away. It was ruling non-homicide, really. And then changed to a suicide. So, and with a whiskey bottle, yes, and baby mama problems that they could easily blame it on and sell the family, like the case who used to be Rogers' partner. Very easy to sell, and they're gonna buy. And who knows what else. But I mean, of course, you would think that would have been looked into a little more seriously now after what's going on. But you also know that, I mean, Bellstown, Chelsea, these guys right there, right? If that were the case and they didn't know about things like that, we'd be in big trouble. Let's be honest, right? We'd be in the security. It would be a scary question, right? But they get known but not actionable. That would be what that would fall into, and they use that one. That's a biggie. Known but not actionable. So yeah, we know that these guys are transnational fucking drug dealing operation and human trafficking. However, if we do anything, this is going to happen. So divert your attention to other places, dilute it, right? That's why, I mean, when you do for one, and whatever connection these guys have, which obviously with intelligence agencies, they got a lot, right? And so we're going to just let you right over and say, you're in a work visa, you're working Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, fucking, still you're going to be teaching people. Why? Well, because Kevin Landry signed off on you. Oh, well, who signed off on him? Enzo, great. Oh, shit. Yeah, good. Oh, then he must know what the fuck he's talking about. He must be. But yeah, so that puts up immigration like that because he gave his wife a black belt too for a wedding present. So now she can get her signing off on someone saying that they're an expert in their field, like you need to do in order to get that work visa. Or and with an unusual talent or rare talent, right? That's what her signing off on. I mean, it's bad, and it's just a money laundering and the trafficking operation right from the beginning, and it should be stopped. But you get these officers like this, they contribute to that because they're dealing with these organizations too. And how do you, like Brian Albert, fucking being the scumbag that he is, like, I mean, he fucked everybody. Like, if you're a bad guy, whatever. Even if you're a good guy, but you do bad things, do crazy things, but he fucked everybody. Like, it didn't matter. He fucking, wouldn't take no responsibility. Wasn't he fucking got the fuck out. Put him on the fucking lawn, and they got the fuck out of there. Yeah, they probably went to the police station to bandage him up, all that shit, or Brian Albert got the fuck out of there. He went probably. Who knows where the fuck he went, but he went far away from that house. He wasn't in there. It didn't come out because he's not a Boston. I mean, because he's not a Cameron cop. He wasn't there. And, he can have her do all the titles she wants for him to establish that he was there. And of course he'll have to be there. Who the fuck is going to stay there? If you kill somebody, you're definitely not staying there. Okay? He's one guy. He's on the fugitive apprehension squad. He ain't fucking sticking around just in case. Like, who the fuck? Yeah, you got a rap sheet, but you don't know who the fuck's going to be there. Like, come on. And so, but again, it can be people, and you would think, like, it's not like these people that are all behind Karen Reed as much as they can. Those are the people. Those are the people that they're behind Karen Reed, but it's not Karen Reed. Like, Karen Reed's not the fucking issue here anymore. Yeah, too bad that happened. Yeah, but this ain't Karen Reed. I don't care what else she has going on. Like, these guys got off. So anything about Karen, no matter what, is good for them because they came up with the plan at the last fucking second, shit days, all fucked up, and still pulled it off because. I mean, ultimately, you're gonna say Bernie, but Ken Berkowitz. I mean, yeah, Ken Berkowitz. He fucking made it happen. I mean, can show you how up their ass he was. He fucking went and sprinkled taillight out there a few days later, and then says, "Oh yeah, I found it while I was driving by. I'm the fucking chief of Popo, baby. I got you, Brian. I would be get the fuck out of here. Who's kidding who? I mean, are you crazy? I don't know what the fuck we can do about that one, but it is a problem. I mean, it is a problem, and it all stems. I'm sure. Well, not all, but a lot of that is the reason it's happening is because of the Boston Marathon bombing and what took place there, and involving a lot of bad people and a lot of the same people that have been involved in what you're seeing here with John O'Keefe, or Casey, Rakes and Pat Rogers. It's a bad thing, and we're headed a bad place with that. But we'll move from that. We get the Boston Marathon, and then we got to really talk about this the Henzo Gracie scam and whether there's a way. Because right now it's just take it. It's so blatant, and getting away with like we're seeing happen. If you watch it since the beginning, even if you picked it up late, you're able to at least it shows you exactly how it works. I mean, ultimately how it works, not how it should work, but ultimately how it really does work. And if you have the humility to understand that when they are intelligence agencies and they know more than us and they're smarter than us, they wouldn't have put it out there for us to see it. And we ingested it the way they wanted us to ingest it. When I say we, I mean the public in general, right? But they did want us to see what we saw. Like if they didn't want any of that, we wouldn't. And I know a lot of it was to seemingly deflect attention away from the actual keeper. It did keep away from Boston, but we saw what we saw. And you know what I mean? We saw how blatant they were doing it, knowing that all eyes were on them, giving assurances from the highest levels. And that's why the FBI is not coming in and announcing that they're investigating the investigation unless someone else is investigating something and they want, oh my God, the FBI. They said now they can just come right. They don't even have to worry about it and dig right in. Right. But there was also other intel, well, Department of Justice, of course. I mean, of course, and when they start closing this file, all of a sudden, boom, close it. That's locked. I say we can't see that anymore, right? Hank Brennan's aboard, right? Like it's crazy. They do away with the organized crime task force. They're going public with it. I mean, it can't be much more clear, but you can't. But that's why it's, even if this is the case, and I understand bloodlines and all that stuff, but Brian Albert, like, if you're going to be that much of a fuckhead going about business, like, and being that much of a fucking fuckhead, look at this fucking box, like, look at this stupid shit. How fucking dumb that is. And then the guys get pissed off, giving his fat fucking knee base, and then he goes out and fights like that. He's the one making these decisions. Him being, you know what I mean? He wound up coming off as a fucking moron on the stand, but he fucking did, and they did okay because his competition sucks so bad. Cool, look at fucking Matt McCabe and fucking, yeah, Matt McCabe's a smart guy like that, but God, he came off as a cunt. But so what? Even that, I mean, Brian Higgins, holy fuck me. Like, there was some doctors that were doing stuff like that, but Brian Albert, came off as okay. I thought Poland did better than fucking 80% of these people. The whole thing, he talking about, oh, yeah, we might have seen this car. Oh, look at the off on the cloud driver. Are you fucking, yeah, we know that fucking, that she did. Okay, we know that fucking, they killed this motherfucker. Everyone knows it. No, everyone doesn't know it. No, because they're fucking dick riders. What are they gonna do? They're gonna fucking say, oh, yeah, we know you did. No, most people fucking so full of fucking shit anyway, and they can talk themselves into it. And the other people, fucking AI, you can do it with. It's fucking a couple long time fucking dick saddle riders, like without guys outside this fucking clear place smoking cigarettes and shit. What's his name? The fucking who's the dickhead? But yeah. So these assholes testifying like that, Brian Albert, like, even if you are from the bad side, why? I mean, I don't know, but hey, what can you say? He had his basement, right to the train, right back to the train tracks pretty easily. Not too fast. And they in the house has been the family name for a long time. We know the deal. Well, hopefully everybody fucking knows the deal. I do, but we'll get into that. We'll get into the tunnel system. If they had any police department, every resource in the whole fucking town, the whole county, to fucking dump whatever they wanted to that basement before they fucking placed him out there, or after they took him out, before anybody fucking came, they would have had no problem at all with that. That wasn't the reason they didn't want it. They didn't want, because if they came in, well, we all know, right? We all know they could come in there. You can't go, no, because you go down the basement. Right? Then we got, if there's any problems there, if they go in the basement, we know we got the train station right back there, all kinds of crazy shit. But then they sold it. Right? It's the most fucking well-known crime scene in America. Most famous house. They're watching it. They let someone buy it. Go ahead, sell it. Yeah, you guys take over. We don't want it. Yeah, okay.
The reason why I said pay attention is because, were you guys able to hear the entire time or no? Talks about train tracks, and don't forget that there's a train track, rail, train, whatever, behind Brian Albert's house. And he kept saying, we'll talk about the tunnels. That's the only recording that is being shared by this person. You can't find anything else by this person. Somebody sent it to me. And I think it was the actual person, because I put a comment. It's the only comment that is there. And I put blessings, be safe, or something like that. And he actually put a thumbs up, like replied. So I'm sure it's not new. I'm sure it's old. I have no idea how old it is. But I wanted to point something out from how we started. You started talking about the situation with, what do you call it? Oh my God. With the letter that was written, and what do you call it? Oh my God. Talking about Yannetti, right? I lost my train of thought. So I posted something on the community thing, and I'm going to leave it there. The person, Richard Allison, that was the person who wrote that letter that was sent to Brennan, stating that David Yannetti framed me. And that's why we can't jump into conclusions when we look into things. First of all, David Yannetti started practicing in 1989. This murder was in 1994. Looks like afterwards, when there was availability for DNA and whatever, more modern, whatever, they did a DNA evidence testing, and it actually pointed out that the actual killer was a man named Dave Hannigan. And, they all died in 2015. This is all public information. But Richard Collins, which was the person who wrote the letter, Richard Allison, I'm sorry, was actually exonerated. And ended up being, what do you call it? Exonerated. So he didn't do it. Sometimes it makes you wonder if, I know that David Yannetti hung on to this case like for dear life. Like he was relentlessly working. Maybe he was too young. Maybe he didn't consider all the options. Maybe he was led in the wrong direction. Maybe he made a mistake, because at the end of the day, we're all humans, right? But there's always an opportunity to reivindicate ourselves. And maybe, just maybe, that's why he was acting with so much integrity and the highest levels of commitment, not even hesitating to consider anything when it came to Karen Reed. So, lessons learned. We live and learn. That's what this life is about. I'm going to cut it short. I'm going to leave it right here. I think you guys have a little bit of me, at least not to forgive me, right? And that was the idea. I don't want to drag you on a Friday. There's still 6, 7 of us watching or listening, 5 of us. So I'll let you guys go. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to be working behind the scenes. And if something, wait, before you go, where's this tea? Where is this tea? Let me see if I can show him something. Because let me see if I can show something. Okay. Can you guys see it? Let me see. This is coming up. This is the next thing that I'm going to be talking about. And let me see. And I'm just giving you a little teaser, right? A little teaser, because putting all of these reports together, it takes a minute, and I don't want to do it lightly. And then you know what I'm dealing with, but that is just how it started. This is the bridge of how it's going to look like after we finish. And all of this is just, I'm thankful to Corey Hopkins, if anybody is close to her and listens, and somebody has to thank her for her, Khalidi, Sharkey, and everybody that is putting, Emily C, anybody that is putting an effort in getting these documents together, so all of us can use our expertise, focus in our areas, right? Because everybody's areas is different, and try to put all of these pieces of this puzzle together and try to help. But the other thing that I am very, very interested in is I want to change how things are having done so far. I want to change. I can't just not do anything. Like, we have to be able to do something. And, that starts with all of us. Like, I didn't know that nobody audits the forensic experts. I don't know if you know that. There's not a single government entity or an agency or a regulatory body, or nobody audits the individual forensic experts that come from different companies. Any DA, any prosecutor, any defense lawyer can bring whoever it is that they bring, right? And instead of like a regulation system vetting and auditing the deliveries before they are brought into trial, there's not one single institution or organization that does that. The incompetent judge that doesn't know anything, most of them are all obsolete. They don't even know. Remember the other day when we had the other hearing? You want me to listen to something, a guy named Ray from Dallas? They want the judges to be up to par and know what parsing means. They want the judges to be the regulatory only gatekeeper of all of the forensic evidence that comes in. And in the case of Karen Reed, I don't know if you guys remember, but there wasn't a divert hearing. There wasn't anything. They didn't even vet these witnesses. They didn't scrutinize how did these witnesses come about. Regardless of the fact that there was a May 11th, 2023 email where Tully had confirmed to everybody, don't worry, guys, we already retained the experts. They are going to support Trooper Guarino's findings. These things have to change, because if anybody that can create a ticket, work on an app, right, design their own tool, upgrade their own tool, create their own copy-paste situation, put in a report, say that worked for somebody, but the report comes from somebody else. What are we doing here? Did you know why the judge was asking if anybody could get their hands on the magnet axiom forensic report? Because if you take that report, which is not manipulated at all, they didn't touch it. They only used bits and pieces of what they felt was helpful to them. If they would have used that report, unmanipulated, untampered report, it would have destroyed everything. It would have had destroyed everything, because the reality of it is they managed to steal 11 minutes. 11 minutes. They cheated us with 11 minutes. So I started a manifesto, like, for forensic integrity. I started pouring the information, the most relevant information of everything that I have audited, because somebody needs to bring up to the authorities the fact that there is a weaponization of this forensic situation here and so-called experts, where they are the ones who testify, they are the ones that create the ticket, they are the ones who upgrade the software, they are the ones who have the authority and the power to give it a go, and they also have the power of push-button forensics. And that's what I'm going to call it. And I'm going to ask that changes have to happen, because it is impossible that we're not able to demand for somebody to go back retroactively and audit what they did. If this is the United States of America, even if the trial concluded, it is impossible that something can't be done to go back and audit retroactively the baseline of information that these people use, hashtagless, hash valueless, right? With nothing. And they were able to create their own parsing, right? And, unaltered external videos, whatever, processors, caches, all of it, the partitions, all of it. Somebody needs to audit this, because there are more witnesses that are going to be sitting on the witness stand. There are more people that are going to be sitting where, just like, in any case, they're going to assume that they are what? Guilty before they're proven innocent. This is how the times are changing in our country. That before is we are all innocent before proven guilty, right? Yeah, well, not lately. Not with Celebrite out there, not with Ian Whiffin out there, not with experts that come in to support somebody's findings. Experts have to do their jobs. These experts cost a lot of money. They have to earn that money, and they have to show their work. And that work has to be vetted, legitimated, or audited, or proven okay by an entity, a regulatory entity that is not an incompetent judge in forensics, in digital forensics. The judge doesn't know what cache is. The judge doesn't know what parsing is. The judge doesn't know how to code. The judge doesn't know what it takes to generate a ticket and upgrade a physical analyzer. The judge doesn't know absolutely nothing. No clusters, no proprietary from Apple, nothing. How is a judge the ultimate decision maker of whether parsing was done correctly, whether there was the actual signature that makes that information legitimate was missing or not. How does she know? She doesn't. So, cool. Okay, guys. So have a good weekend. If I find something juicy, I'll jump in tomorrow. Okay. I'm bound home. I had a weekend from Tuesday to yesterday morning. So, so I'll jump in. I'll jump in this weekend if I find something juicy and share it with you guys. If not, I'll post it on the comments. But be safe. Be safe. Love you guys. Bye. Wait, I gotta put my little song. You know, it takes me a minute. So where's it go?